he built what they now call the Cocoa House. And it was commissioned in 1965.
The concept of building that house, I suppose to honor the farmers who had done so much, who had contributed so much actually to the success of the development of the Western region at that time. I was too young to understand any details of structure and all of that. But the idea of it, I understood. And as the building commenced and grew, it was impossible to miss it on the skyline of Ibadan.
Cocoa House began as an ambitious vision of the Western Nigeria Marketing Board to create a landmark symbol of prosperity funded by the region's thriving cocoa trade. Kappa and Dalbato was approached because of their proven track record in delivering complex, high-profile projects across Nigeria. The first steps involved assembling a multidisciplinary team, reviewing the client's vision, and conducting feasibility studies to align the aspirations of the project with available resources and technology. There were healthy debates on the extent of ornamentation versus functional simplicity, with the final design favoring a clean, modernist style that balanced elegance with structural integrity. Early design concepts revolved around verticality and efficiency, while ensuring that the building could withstand the environmental conditions of Ibadan.
Imagine the arguments: too expensive, too ambitious, a waste. Or maybe every great thing begins with a chorus of doubt. Looking at this staircase, it feels like an act of defiance. Every single step a victory of will over whisper.
According to the board and management of Kappa and Dalbato, one element we're particularly proud of is the structural frame design, which allowed Cocoa House to rise higher than any building in West Africa at that time. It was a technical achievement that demonstrated Nigeria's ability to execute world-class engineering projects locally. The architectural brief was both simple and bold, to create a modern high-rise building that would stand as the tallest in West Africa, showcasing the region's progress and confidence. Local artisans also played a key role in bringing craftsmanship to the interior finishes, ensuring that the building not only met international standards, but also reflected Nigerian pride.
It's a question of looking at it and saying, whoa, this is beautiful. Something good has happened in Western Nigeria, in Ibadan. And till today, there is nothing like that in anywhere in Nigeria.
And at that time, the king of Juju music, Ike Dairo, MBE, had waxed a popular number. Only go, Adide, only go, Adide, òjò yẹ wúkẹ́
When the name was being placed on it, the letters were actually placed one at a time, and it took a long time, well, to a young mind, a long time, for it to be completed. So, there was a lot of speculation about what was this name going to be. I remember that kind of discussion and curiosity in the house, but of course we were embroiled in all sorts of issues by that time.
So, Awolowo dreams it, Akintola opens it. The farmers pay for it. Who gets the credit? Maybe that's the wrong question. Looking at their faces, the pride, the tension. Perhaps the real credit goes to the idea itself. An idea bigger than any one man. An idea bigger than their politics.
There was a crisis in Western Nigeria, but it was very fortunate that that crisis did not affect the completion of Cocoa House.
I heard that the tenants were mixed group. There were government agencies, government corporations, law firms, architectural firms, and there were also some few companies that were even expatriate-based that had some consultancy work with the old Western Nigeria that were housed in Cocoa House.
I was a staff of the Sketch Publishing Company Limited, the neighbor of Cocoa House. So as a reporter, we will cover events here. Because Cocoa House was famous for the swimming pool, the bar, and all that.
It was quite a pride at that time to work inside the Cocoa House. I joined the Western Nigeria Marketing Board, which was one of the tenants in those days. Maybe Western Nigeria Marketing Board was actually the builder of Cocoa House. So I started working here by August 1975.
Eventually, I grew up in Ibadan. I lived in Ibadan, and I remember growing up, I used to look forward to that place called Cocoa House, because every December our parents would take us out to buy shoes and buy Christmas gift for us, and we will go around that place in Dubai. And also Kingsway. There's a place called Kingsway where you will go and look at Father Christmas. And something very popular amongst Yoruba family and people living in Ibadan then. There's this thing called Baby Kingsway.
Cocoa House became Ibadan's heartbeat. Offices hummed, dreams took root. But then, in 1985, something happened. January 9, 1985, a fire cutting the icon from top down. For many, it felt like a prophecy fulfilled. A dream turned to ash. It could have been the end. But the fire that consumed the building also forged its legend in resilience. Engineers, architects, and a new generation of leaders refused to let it die. Cocoa House would rise again. Its scars not a mark of shame, but as a badge of survival.
It is a sad note that I don't like to touch, that I, as the press secretary to the then military governor of Old Oyo State, the then Lieutenant Colonel Olada Okuola, who today is a retired Major General and a lawyer, I broke the news of the fire that destroyed Cocoa House to him.
It wasn't just the Cocoa House, investment house in Lagos. I think Bristol Hotel. There was this rash of fires. And I suppose in a way, I just wondered whether there was an attempt to wipe out the real estate heritage of the Western region.
The fire was on for about 4 hours. So it meant that all the structural elements must have suffered fire damage because it went higher than 850 degrees Celsius, give or take. And that, at that level, concrete's performance will fall to maybe 20% of its capacity. So it was a miracle that the building did not come down.
The heartbeat of Cocoa House is not its concrete, but its spirit. A call to action etched in the sky. A monument not just to who we were, but a challenge to who we can still become. To dream, to build, to endure.
What we've done here, for example, we've tried to put a world-class office within Cocoa House. Now, that's what we expect our offices to be. The focus is to be able to attract the right talent to come and work for you. Now, whereas we are doing that in our offices, we already, as we stand today, to make sure that our ground floor on Cocoa House and our surrounding areas needs to also be touched up that shows that it's a world-class environment. We haven't got the money to do the whole building, but the truth today is that the building is functional, which we are doing at enormous cost and subsidy to make sure the lifts are working. But we need to create an environment that people are willing to come, especially for young people.
Cocoa House. If you go to Cocoa House today, it's not the same Cocoa House that was built 60 years ago. And don't forget that it got burned. Some of the floors, for 5 years, it was there. And now, what we've done is that we have remodeled everywhere, make them a modern. You see, something that happened 60 years ago cannot be the same.
So the car park area, for example, has been done. All of the premises has been done, and you could see even continuing improvement in that area. The lifts in the building, there are 4 of them. We had 3 functioning. The 4th one is now being put in place as well to make sure it is completed. So we believe that some of these enhancements that is going on is what is going to help us to regenerate the environment.
I think in the last 10, 12, 15 years, I'm not too sure about that now, things started taking better turn. Dua came in, they repaired the place, they now make sure light is everywhere, bought a new generator, and it has been fine. And I think early this year, they decided to work on the car park. And you can see it yourself, it's such a beauty to watch.
Like I always say to a lot of people that for most people, they start their bases at the ground. Our own base is the height of Cocoa House. You know, so that's interesting for us because on the 26th floor is where you now start, you know, the base of your mast. So obviously for the reach, it has helped our brand. I mean, we go beyond the bottom, and that's a plus for the radio station. That's on the reach. I think that generally the location itself is good for the brand and has helped business.
The governors of the Southwest states, in their wisdom in 2012, when they were pronouncing the birth of Dawn Commission, chose Cocoa House. And why did they choose Cocoa House? For them, it was a symbol of integration, a symbol of the heights that Western Nigeria reached in those days. So when they were choosing the headquarters for the regional commission, for them it was a no-brainer when they didn't have to look anywhere else but Cocoa House.
Point is that we want to keep that legacy and maintain redefined areas that we need to redefine. If you now go to Cocoa House, the ambience is attractive, is welcoming. So that when you say you're a world-class conglomerate, you want somebody to come from America and see Cocoa House and say, oh, wow, from London, from anywhere in the world. And I can tell you, the few people that we've hosted in Cocoa House, they couldn't believe that was. So we are trying to bring back that memory, the legacy, and let people know that Cocoa House has come to stay and is going to be maintained.
Okay, there's no other structure, let's put it that way. There are other things in education and all the rest of it represent our common heritage, but something that can be physically seen and touched and experienced. It's the Cocoa House, no doubt about it.
Cocoa House is our story, sweat, vision, grit. The power of Ishelo Gunshe carved in concrete. It calls us to remember, to build, to rise. A monument not just to who we were, but to who we dare to become.
This building is telling the story of the ambitious Western region using the money from cocoa to build a building that will be a testament of the economic prosperity of Nigeria as of that time.
It represents our history in governance and our trajectory from when it was thought that we could do nothing by ourselves. We actually did wonders.
We should emulate our leaders that till date, after 60 years, we're still talking about them in terms of having foresight, realizing their foresight, actualizing their foresight, implementing their foresight for the betterment of a generation yet unborn.
This is why it's great. Not because it was the first, but because it proves to us what we are capable of when we unite under a single audacious dream. It's our past, yes, but it's also our present. And most importantly, it's a challenge, a promise of what is possible.
thank everybody here. Today, what we are doing, we are celebrating legacy, excellence.